it looks like. And then they took a big charge on that ARM deal. It's like 1.3 billion. I mean, I don't know how much the street cares for that, but it cost them a little bit to walk away from that. So I think those two things are what's kind of keeping it. And then the supply issue, right, Sam? The supply issue. I mean, they have demand.
Yeah.
It's the same story. Demand, but not enough supply to provide it.
I agree. Okay, last thing before we get started here, Bill tells us, just like we got used to Amazon. Very good statement, right? I mean, think about this. You need something, and you're like, Amazon's only a mile and a half away. And you're like, screw it, I'm not driving a mile and a half. I mean, not Amazon or Walmart or Target. And you're just, Mrs. Omid says, go buy this. We need some of this. We need, detergent, Tide. And Omid says, oh, okay, I ordered it. It's coming in an hour or two from Amazon. I mean, you're not leaving to go to, this is just the way life is, right? You get used to it. And when you get used to it, you just keep doing it. And that's Dash, right? That's Dash. So keep an eye on it. Alexa says, wage and labor, in fact, inflation across the board, everything, healthcare, construction, exactly. It's everywhere. You have to be really careful here. If you're trying to do a house, you're trying to fix a house and put in a new room.
Worst time to do it.
You better be really freaking careful. I'm hearing stuff like 50% of the people don't show up. They take your money. They want it up front. They don't show up, and you can't get a hold of them. Hearing it all over. Because they go take your job. Let's say they're going to put in your countertops for $5,000, and say that the whatever you're going to put them in at granite costs you $2,000. They're going to make $3,000 to put them in. Somebody else offers them $10,000 to put it in somewhere else, and they just don't come up to yours. They just don't come in to do yours. This is happening all over. I'm hearing this everywhere, from roofers to everything. Got neighbors, people hiring roofers, and they pay them up front, and they don't show up. And I'm like, they're like, Sam, what do I do? And I'm like, why would you pay them up front? They said, well, everybody wants money up front. Too bad. Don't pay them. Screw it. That's a roof leak. I mean, you can't, because you can't get these people. You can't find them.
Use a tarp.
Huh?
Use a tarp.
No, I know that, but you can't find them. You can't trust. These are the most untrustworthy people in the world. It doesn't matter if it's a company. The company doesn't care. If they just remember, in wage inflation and all this stuff that's happening, if you're into an industry that doesn't care, you can't win, right? You can't win. It's very hard. Very hard. I need to do some stuff in this house. And it's funny, somebody called me up yesterday and say, hey, we're in your neighborhood. Can we give you an estimate? I'm like, I don't even know who the hell you are. Why are you searching in my neighborhood? I mean, everybody is booked for 6 months out. 6 months out. I mean, you try and get a generator, you can't even get a generator installed. They're 3 months out and they're charging you triple. So if somebody comes knocking on your door and says, oh, I can install a generator, you going to trust them? And Sam doesn't trust anybody to watch with, right? Russia invading now? Is something just happened there, Omid?
I don't see.
Market 21. No, I don't see that.
No, I mean there was there was reports that they didn't draw down. They added 7,000 yesterday afternoon that came up. But I think the market is getting tired of the headline, the back and forth on that headline until there's real action, right?
Yeah. So here's the thing for you, Omid. This is really interesting. One last thing. We'll get started, guys.
Yeah,
and everybody
let me make a couple of points after that.
Let's say Putin, let's say he's in France and he's going to go talk to a France guy, right? And they attack. Are you going after Putin to take him into custody? Or did you just let him walk out on it?
Oh, well, that's Sam with the with the good questions. I don't think
I'm
that's
telling you,
ever
I'm
happened
giving
in
you
the
the real
history of the
question.
world.
I mean, think about this. If Putin attacks, and you have eyes on Putin and you can get him, and he's going to have his own security or whatever, do you not take out the whole security and go get him? Do you do that or do you not do that?
Is there some sort of a Geneva convention agreement on that? Cannot take out leaders or something. I guess that's why countries go to war and a bunch of people die, unfortunately. Maybe they should
but
change
here's
that.
my question: is he's going to attack while he's all they're going to have a meeting over here, or he's meeting with this guy in France, or he's meeting with this guy over here. You just let him meet with other people while he's attacking. Very interesting. Something weird's going on. Watch it. Things are starting to drop. That's what we know. Okay, good morning, everybody.
One more point. I wanted to make just in general about the market, especially for the smaller plays or smaller guys. I personally, I mean, this is a tough market, and I think you have to be really careful where you step on both sides. When UPSD was like the only winner. When you look at what happened to Roblox and Shopify and Nvidia this morning, and they're just hard plays, right? And well, I mean, Shopify worked on the downside, but it's just, so you have to be very careful. Snow, for example, just meandering around $300. The market in general just kind of meandering, waiting for something. So I don't. So I think that this is a market you do not want to overtrade. So just make sure that you jump in good opportunities and wait for the market to have like a second day or something, right? So let's see.
Interesting. Okay, so that's what I know. That's what I know. Okay, good morning. Down 21 on SPX. That puts it at 44. I don't know. Let's say 44.52, somewhere in there. You got 44.32, you got 43.81 downside. Then we see, right? Interesting. Do we go down into the weekend? Possibly. It's a monthly expiration. That's a down. Then we see, got to trade them. Do we go up? Do we go down? Okay, 2 days ago, it was about, he didn't attack, so we don't care about Russia. And yesterday we didn't care about Russia. And we cared about the Fed. Now the Fed they already told you everything. They can raise 50, they can do whatever, and we still went up because it's a known thing. So now today the Fed is meaningless again. Now you're back into Russia. Okay? Then we see, who knows. Okay? Facebook. Why is this thing not 209, 201? Crooked. But then we see. TTD. Huge pop, then a drop. And so think about what we did yesterday on TTD. Their conference was midday. It was at 10:30. And we bought the option because it was down considerably into that with the numbers being that good. The numbers were that good. Okay? So we bought them. We bought it, and it popped. And we took 3 points and we sold it. We took 3 points and sold it. It covered the other ones. That's trading 101. Okay, NVIDIA. Underneath 241, 239, 209. 209. Needs to get through 272 to even sniff. Lam Research. Back lower again. 550, 571, 551, 609. If the market was to crater and techs all crumble, Avago back to 570. It just can't get going. Qualcomm sitting at 170. Can't get going. Roblox. I actually like the 50s here. If you get them for like 20 cents, we'll keep an eye on them. Interesting. At 20 cents. Boeing. 221, 226 underneath 215 would be bad. Twilio trying to go 192, 199 underneath 181 bad. Roku earnings will probably take a test on some puts here farther down, just because nothing really runs, right? Nothing really runs. And if they were to come in negative, this thing going to 100. Amazon. Dan Loeb, this was up to 191, says it has 1 trillion in extra valuation. It doesn't matter what he says. It doesn't matter what anybody says. The stock doesn't go up. Doesn't go up. Doesn't break down. Not doing anything. Okay? So keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. But should be strong today for most of the day. Okay? U.S. advisor says Russia moving toward imminent invasion. Wow. Thank you, Omid. Everything's creating. Then we see. We're going to ask Omid a question here in a minute. So, Omid, I'm going to give you the question, but let me finish, and then you can answer. What is imminent? Okay. I know what it is, but everybody has different opinion on this. And these guys are saying imminent, and we'll give you your opinion in a minute. Okay. Snow needs 309. Shop. Let it break. 600. Let them attack. Let it go to 600. Fine. UPST, 162, 171, 172. Accelerator, Google, may get out of this fast. It didn't go. It went up. We went 5 to 9. 5 to 9 fast. Now it's coming back down. Tesla can't get any legs. 944. And that's what we know. My definition of imminent is pretty soon. In an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. I think the news source that report that Russia, their Reuters, I think their definition is within the next month. Omen, what's your definition?
I would say anytime.
Anytime in a day or anytime in a week?
Any time, I would say, like in a week.
In a week. Okay. There's no real answer, right? So who knows? I don't know. I don't even know what's real. But here's what you know.
It just adds to extended weekend risk.
Exactly. So that's what we know. Okay? That's what we know. So everybody have a great train day. See you in chat. Interesting. Hopefully UPST pops to 162 right off the bat. We get 20, we get out because we got an extra week, then we see.